there, folks! Rinimt here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. In the last part, we wrapped up things in Famfrit for now. We got our warding talismans, we found out about this Akasha, and we had a dinner party with a bunch of the Scions. So, and then they crashed in my room all night, and we got no sleep. What was the thing about rest? Like, come on. Sound the bell. School's in. Oh, there you are, feeling refreshed, I hope. No. I was about to make my way to the studio as it happens. I want to try and speak with Scholar Monteshane and thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rostra. So it turns out he'd come here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Fafnir. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. Since we're still waiting for Ishtal and the others, I thought now the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? And so, the twins will be coming too, assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go on ahead to the phenomenon. During my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studio for a time. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Cool. Are we walking into another escort? We totally are, aren't we? Hi, Alphino. I can play this game too. Hello. Oh, fine. Anyway. Heading out for a stroll? The scholar himself was there? In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studio. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphino, of all people worrying over his reputation. At our alma mater, no less. Oh, wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Oh my gosh, it's not an escort. I can just work. Oh my god, miracles never end. What is this? Because I hit the mute button instead of. Anyway. Here it is, phenomenon. Well, I expect you may know of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. As the center of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of etherological phenomena, hence the name. Though what ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then in the 432nd year of the Sixth Astral Era, phenomenon was decreed complete and the studio officially opened as a place of learning. With a long storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority on etherology, the arcane, the occult, the astromancy, and countless other fields, standing proud as Sharlayan's foremost educational institute. He always did enjoy giving a grand tour to the new students. Indeed, I have long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same foppish speech, such is his undying love for his old stamping ground. He was in top form back then, youngest into the studio, graduated with highest honors in magical arts and etherology, undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on, you both in the studio at the same age, yes, and from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me, nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors. I'm certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects, have I ever been in his shadow? If nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alphino Leveilleur began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully, we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphino. With a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholar Monteshane. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wheresoever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. Well, there's an excitable student here. That was Alvin Olivier, wasn't it? The Alvin Olivier? And he's with his sister and Master Baldessian's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. Event of epic, shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word! Oh, sorry, you said you were looking for the Skull Arc, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere, but Miss Eliapo should have a better idea. No. No, no, no. I've had enough with Eliapos in my lifetime over in Idleshire. Are you lost? Wandering off the street, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly me. An orientation is order. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. Let's let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studio? That's right, books. What's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal with. That's what we deal in here at Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors themselves find themselves in need of equipment and materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. I have pies of this, tell you Gigan told that. It's not to make your hair stand on end. It's possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this school being a school of magic and all. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. The only thing I'm interested in gleaning is information on the scholars' whereabouts. I beg your pudding? You're not a gleaner. Then this was on the elaborate ruse. No, wait. Come and think it. You never actually claimed to be one of them in the first place. My mistake. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. The time it's taken me to tell you all this, the Skull Arc has probably already left. Let's look find you. I have a feeling you'll need it. Alright. Let's go speak with the level-headed student, apparently. Hopefully isn't going, oh my god, it's Alvino! We hope. We pray. Hi. Yes, Skull Arc was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps to one of the auditoriums? Alright, well, let's search for him all to Shane, and an auditorium. So we'll just go this way. Take literally the back route, I guess. So there's only so many auditoriums we can actually enter. Well, first things first, before we speak with him, let's stop by and hit the thing first.
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that Inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the Annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisois in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Montoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat. We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Corporeal ether.
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The seventh umbral calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable. Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
You've been granted to run the phenomenon. If you are game, Kiliapo would put your artisanry to good use. What that means is we have unlocked the crafters and gatherers quests of Endwalker. Basically, that's literally what it means. Also more side quests. Pointless. A capital idea. Well, it's giving me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives and the mysteries of life itself, for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave with more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the Annex. Perhaps on the way, you could better acquaint yourself with Kialiapo, as the scholar suggested, while I share my findings with Raha. Well, we aren't for two reasons. Reason one being I'm holding off on side quests. Reason two being my highest gatherer is still in the 70s, I believe. We haven't touched the Shadowbringers ones. So I'll just swing by her real quick here. So you can see here, faculty, Disciple of Handerland, level 80 or higher. So literally can't even do it yet anyway. Eventually, we will get there. Why am I running? Welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studio proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow Scions. As expected, news of the boarding seals was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine the way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Limsilo-Minta. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let's see what awaits us in Vilbrand. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Eston again? As the mercenary here. Him. Phew, didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though, for each one the alchemists of the great work put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the form's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, I can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I wait word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn, I can feel it, to Limsilo-Minta. I was totally expecting you guys. You may or may not be aware, the admirals at present entertain the other Seeds and the Sultana. The three of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare? Shall I show you to them? Let me in! Let's get the other most powerful woman in the world here. I mean, what? Did I say that out loud? My apologies for calling you away from Sharlayan at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. 'Twas only right that this discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But may I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the warning scales and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Sharlayan, the allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, the surge of abductions of kobolds, Hog, and Ixal and Ananta have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph from Rosenhan has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace, and it's you, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telophoroi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. Those brave few will be the Elzebron contingent. To think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objectives are twofold. First is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been robbed of their free will. They serve the Telophoroi's every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I only ask that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that, there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Famfrit and Urianger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's reason to believe those smaller spires are merely a precursor to what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we failed to make any headway. Though the same could be said of the Telophoroi. They are certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I wager the spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Ishtol's analysis of the tower's influence on the ethereal currents. Based on our observations inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon ether from the land, continuing to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll be bringing their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good. But what do you have us do? It's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Ilzabar contingent. Consider an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. Oh my god. For honor and glory for people of Garlemald. For revenge against the Telophoroi! Couldn't have put it better myself. Ishtol, Famfrit, and Urianger have already pledged their support, on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They are positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warding scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ilzabar. Rabban and Lord Aymeric are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs, and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telophoroi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. Ah, the Wanderer's return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding scales of yours are what's made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Aymeric be leading contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there is a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Ilzabar contingent. The very suggestion that we send some of our own finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid into the Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Sadly, not, though I'd do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side, charging into the fray. Alas, I have battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. Hate to say it, but Lord Aymeric's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Ilsabard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Oh hey! Long time no see! Much has occurred since we parted ways in world. From what I gather, the protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I've shared with Maxima. For sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So you're not coming with us. Strange, I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. That's all after I have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every mote of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone will place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the Ilsabard contingent, it would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I'm branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. I don't think they'll be pleased to see you champion of Eorzea set foot on Garlean soil either. Fair point, but so long as you refrain from announcing your arrival to all and sundry, the average person should have no inkling as to your identity. Your titles and deeds are common knowledge, only a select few would recognize you on sight alone. Perhaps one day they will learn that the Warrior of Light is not a demon to be feared, but a woman deserving of their trust. In light of Gaius' rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two. And if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you. All of you. Excuse me. Best of the best. The other members of the Ilsabard contingent are gathered in the Royal Palace. Should inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you are ready. All remaining members of Scions, your friends and most of the Ilsabard contingent await you within. Would you like me to see you through? Please! Get me voicing so I don't have to keep talking.
By the 12.
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsabard contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Lucia!
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention. Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must. I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation, here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer. We shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hilfier to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughingstock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but a promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do. Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the Avatar of Destruction. With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Lord Emanolain!
Ah, yes. Emanolain de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that. But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
I dare say your fancy footwork may be all that stands between us and certain doom.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroa with my tales of daring do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a step is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland. the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius bloody Balesar himself is working to help rebuild Whirlid, a nation he once conquered. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garland Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us, so it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Oh, well, before we pick up the Shtola, let's do some talking around. So, on quick glance, looks like one of the biggest differences I am seeing from when I did this on my main character is there's less NPCs to talk to here. So this is a big check of how much content you've done. If you have leveled certain other jobs, you will get more people to talk to. For instance, right over here, I believe it's him. If you've done Scholar, he's speakable to. If you've done Warrior, or Marauder, he's speakable to. Thaumaturge, right there. Machinist, right back here. And so on. There are some exceptions, like Aransena is speakable even if you haven't done White Mage or Conjurer. Just because, you know, key NPC. With so many people from so many places, I'm rather out of my element. Regardless, I am a seed seer and will endeavor to equip myself accordingly. So, you get a little bonus line there about your work with the Conjurer's Guild and all that, if you have done Conjurer. Until the Empire fell, Guardians were the only ones who was allowed to impose tariffs upon that sea. Weren't easy pickings, but I made myself a pretty guild. Since they've been so generous to me and mine, perhaps it's time I return the favor and give them a little something back. Was there any others? Did I hit all NPCs? Oh, no, I missed one. If you have done Bard, no Bard, Archer. He is speakable too! That's the one I missed. I'm like, I know I'm missing one here. I think he might be if you've done Lancer, I think. But yeah, Archer is right there, so yeah, there's some little payoffs here. It's interesting seeing them not speakable too. Like, I flat out can't speak to them because they're like, we don't know them. We haven't done that content on this character, so. Alright. Spoke with you. Hi, Pippin. Often has father told me of the struggles faced by Alamigo in the days of the occupation. I too have crossed swords with the Empire on many occasions. Though Garlemald has long been our bitter enemy, Her Grace has elected the Bullshit Ilseburg contingent with members of the Immortal Flames. As representative of the Sultanate, we are one in our commitment to the cause. It seems so long ago we were sailing across the Ruby Sea and charging about in the Azium Steppe with Serena and the others. I'd say we're overdue for another adventure. Brings back so many memories to see so many familiar faces. Been through so much together. Good times and not so good. I expect Garlemald will be mostly the latter, but I'd like to believe we'll look back on these days more fondly in the years to come. But for that to happen, we'll have to make it out of this alive. Don't you die on me, guy. So this is the one payoff we do get! Pugilist. So glad I found you! I have for you a letter from Master Hammond! Let's read it together, shall we? Let's hear him. I have every confidence that your fish shall bring the Floppery to their knees, and should you espy any beautiful maidens thereabouts, perhaps sing to them my praises. Charming, Master. Well, more fool me for thinking that a letter would contain something actually inspiring. Let's just forget this note that exists and focus on the battle instead. So yeah, that's the Pugilist payoff. That's the only one we get! Because all my other jobs are not. Like, my Heaven's Word job is not Machinist on here, so I don't get that payoff, and it's a lot of work to get back here on my main character, as in, yeah, anyway. Yeah. I cast my What the Popularis to bridge the divide between Garlemald and her territories, that all may be united in common cause. We were disparaged as a radical element. The center is looking to stabilize the empire from within. Many friends and even my parents perished in unfortunate accidents. I, too, would surely have met the same fate had I not defected. Nevertheless, I dream of equality and peace for us all. As the world itself stands on the brink of collapse, I hold out hope that one day that dream will become reality. I've led troops in battle many a time, but never a unit with such a diverse range of talents. While I've been briefed on their capabilities, I expect you could provide additional insight into their strengths and weaknesses. I'd appreciate any advice you may have. Oh, I know who I can speak with. Oh yeah, this is the other payoff we get. The bullshit payoff! Allow me to express my deepest gratitude for your role in liberating bullshit. Me and my countrymen owe you nothing more than we can ever hope to repay. Now that our dream has finally been realized, Shaljan has seen fit to send a few of us to join this expeditionary force. I hope our skills will be of use. Yeah, that's the other payoff we get, I guess. The bullshit payoff. I'm glad to see you well, Arya. Grandmother was worried for you. Naya agreed to come hither and join the contingent. The gods sent her a strange dream. 2 suns, one burning red, the other frozen black. Closer they circled, closer and closer, and as they danced, the world fell to ruin. In blinding chaos, she spied blackened silhouettes and knew at once that one was yours. Yet we know not how to interpret this dream, save as a sign that great danger awaits. But whatever lies ahead, I will walk with you, traveler. I care not for the Iron Men or the troubles. It is the destiny of the weak to die in ignominy. Even so, I'll do as I have agreed. I volunteered to join this band of at Cyrena's request, and if she thinks of the worthy cause, that is reason enough. Though we hail from different tribes, our bond has grown strong of late. She is much better company on a hunt than any of the steps oafish men could dream to be. With the mole, champion of the Nadam, and the Tharo having sent so many here, I had the thought to defend the steppe in their absence. I would have done so were it not for my stepbrothers. They urged me to grant our allies the sun's might, that his radiance may deliver them unto victory. And though I must tolerate the presence of this feral, the thorough little dog, at first among my brothers, I could do no less than accept this challenge. My deeds will become the stuff of legend. Alright, now I think I got everyone. I got a mana lane, right? Oh. Well, if I'd known what a social gathering this would turn out to be... No, I must have... I have dressed for the occasion, so it seems fit the perfect opportunity to mingle with other guests. Would I be correct in assuming those ladies over yonder are Cyrna and Sadu with the staff? Perhaps I should introduce myself. No, I don't much like the look of that fellow with the enormous axe. I did you, right? Oh, I cast my law with the Popularis to bridge the divide between Garlemald and her territories, that all may be united in common cause. But we are disparaged by a radical element. Dissenters looking to destabilize the Empire from within. Many friends and even my parents perished in unfortunate accidents. I, too, would surely have met the same fate had I not defected. Nevertheless, I still dream of equality and peace for us all. As the world itself stands on the brink of collapse, I hold out hope that one day the dream will become reality. Yeah, it's weird not seeing everyone speakable too, but you know, I don't have all the payoffs, so. Besides the delegates assembled here, the Amalja and several other tribes offer to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climate of Ilzawar. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction and for Offerway. All things considered, they can better aid the cause by bolstering our defenses in Negorzia, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding scales to our comrades. Care to do the honors? Oh good, we get to go around and to it all over again. Warding scales for the Square delegation. Yep. Methinks these talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in the battles to come. I myself conflicted by this foray to Garlemald, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard, only to throw in my lot with those whose secrets I was supposed to be stealing. Now I leave missions to save the countrymen I betrayed. That is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Hamerick. He would have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large, I will lead us to victory. Oh, so the warding scales, that's why. Not that I would know what they look like. Wow, look at these! Even a layman like me can tell they're bursting with ether. All the better to fend off the tempering waves? Is that the right term? Anyway, these will give us one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Garlemald. One way to find out, eh? Nervous or not, I'd march through all 7 hells if it gave me a chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. So I just thought of it. He's payoff for Black Mage, not just Thaumaturge. Black Mage. Okay, anyway. I hear you've got something for us. Yep. Ah, them scales everyone's been talking about. Pretty little things, ain't they? Reckon they'll be worth a gil or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. One more thing, I know what you're all thinking. Why didn't they send Einzar instead? I'll get if I know. All the Admiral and the Captain Hilfer told me was they needed someone to safeguard the future. And here I am, can't say they haven't got a sense of humor. Of course, some of you might be wondering what good a pirate is on dry land in the middle of the sun, snow of all places. Well, me and my crew will do whatever it needs doing. Well, let's set sail, or however the saying goes on airships. Yes. Straight to the point. And so these are the famed warding scales. Enough for me and my men, I see. Under normal circumstances, I would not be allowed to travel outside the Toilswood. Elder Seatsier, however, has granted me special permission. She has bid me lend my magics to the people of Garlemald while learning all I can of their ways. In so doing, I will come closer to understanding myself and my place in the world, or so she says. I say it is past time our allies benefited from the power at the Seatsier's disposal. Some bemoan that we hide our light underneath a bushel, and I intend to address that criticism. I heard it would be cold in Garlemald, so we came prepared. Did you, though? Did you? I'm looking at Sadu over here. Oh, the talismans! We're to keep these close at all times, yes? I'll see that no one misplaces there. But before I forget, I have a message from Hean. In distant lands, in times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life. I hope I've done his words justice. Doma, like much of Othard, has been plagued by the towers. Yet, while he could not be here, he wished to express his share conviction. Hean and Yugiri labor without rest to unite the people, and with their aid will we keep the enemy at bay. And we at the Steppe in the Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. Cool. Do you have a warning scale for me too? I do. Thank you for this, and for going to such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Although I have little offer in return, I would impart some advice, if I may. You have been told by many to wear the code of Ilsabard, and cannot stress enough that this is no token warding. I will be distributing specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist Guild, but understand that they are no substitute for proper protection. I'll leave provisioning of said protection to your discretion. Let's proceed to the Alamacan Quarter. While you make your final preparations, I will have the pilots ready the airships. Oh, hi, we're just literally warped out. This is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. You needn't worry about Urianger and I. We still have what we wore in Garlemald before. Stynian claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spent a fair bit of time up north recently as well, I have no reason to doubt his words. Most of the others will be borrowing Garden Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided you're not overly concerned with style. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats. Only I'll try to find something to my liking. Hark! Is that the crowd of sounds in need of a tailor I hear? How did she do it? How did she do it? How? I have my ways, oh yes indeed. You thought you could sneak up to Ilsabard without telling me? Nothing escapes my notice. Now you will wear these garments I've made for you whether you like it or not. You never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit as well? Wait, are you coming with us? What? No, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion. Rather, the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how do I expect others to wear my creations if I've never worn them myself? I did have one other thing to share. Artemis and Bloomweeda have finally returned from assignments on Farmway Land. They'll be staying at the Rising Stones for a while to keep an eye on events throughout Eorzea. Since I'll be running things back at headquarters, I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Sharlayan? Oh, why not? You can keep crowd company back in the Baldestian Art Annex. Yes, we'd love to have you there. And I heard Ergmes and Bloomweeda did a fine job carrying on in our stead while we were lying comatose. With them in charge of the Rising Stones, we have nothing to worry about. My thoughts exactly. Also, while I'm confident you won't collapse again because a certain someone who shall remain nameless is in the position to transfer your souls to another world, if anything similarly disastrous were to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I've got a few things to take care of, and then I'll make my way to Sharlayan. I really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Garlemald. It's not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you, other than pray for your safe return, which I will, every day. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. And if you think I'm actually wearing them, you're crazy. I will take the frostbite. But fine, I'll at least show it. Where is it? Is it just the body? Yeah, it's just the body. Yeah, if you think I'm actually wearing it, you're crazy. Anyway, I think on that note, we're gonna call it good there. In the next part, I guess we're heading to Garlemald. Oh boy. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. If you really enjoyed it, consider supporting the channel. All the support really helps to keep making content like this and more. You can find the links for that in the description, along with links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!